Hey, Stephen Yanni here doing the junkyard crawl at Bernardston Auto Wrecking in Bernardston, Massachusetts with a 1968 Dodge Polara two-door fastback. Now, 1968 was a big year for Dodge. In fact, sales were up 48% over 1967, putting Dodge in 6th place in Detroit. Not a bad place to be. Now, you got to remember that 68 was the year that the second-gen Dodge Charger came along, the Coke bottle car, and of course the Dodge Coronet. Both those were very popular. But let's not forget that full-size Monacos and Polaras still accounted for 19% of total Dodge sales. Now, these are similar to the mid-size B-bodies, but larger, called a C-body, the full-size cars here. Now, this one here, let's pop the hood and see what we got. Now, Polara could not be had with a 6-cylinder engine. There might have been some fleet cars made for the service, but again, the base engine was a 318 two-barrel. This one here has the optional 383. We know that because the distributor's up front. 2-barrel or 4-barrel? Okay, that is the 2-barrel right there. And that was an extra $81 right here over the base 318. Lots more torque, a little more fuel consumption, but not a bad thing overall. Now, we notice on this one here, it was a power steering car, and brakes unknown, but look at the amount of rust in this thing. It's pretty unbelievable to see the firewall literally crumbling away like that. And it possibly might be because the brake fluid from the master cylinder may have degraded the paint from the firewall, making it more susceptible to rust. Not sure. But again, power steering, automatic on this one. You could still get a 3-speed manual on these cars in base trim. And believe it or not, the 440 Magnum and a 4-speed manual were certainly possible on one of these cars. No street Hemis in the full-size C-bodies, although some pre-production mules were probably built. But again, for you and me, the Hemi was not available on anything other than the mid-size cars. And in 68, the Hemi Dart. Yeah, a small number of those things were built in Dodge land. Now again, this one here being a Polara fastback. And again, fastback styling right here. And really, to my eye, it kind of looks okay. A lot of fastbacks look like the fastback was added to a pre-existing car. But in Polara land, the long sweeping lines kind of enhance and work very well with the fastback. And again, full-size Chevrolets in 67, 68 also had this. Full-size Ford Galaxies also had fastback styling, as did the Plymouth Sport Fury in 1968. Now, 68 was the final year for this styling cycle. 1969 brought something called the fuselage styling with a more rounded curve and no more fastback. So again, this is the final year, 69 or 68 for a fastback two-door Dodge Polara. Inside, this one is a basic Polara. Again, it's a Dodge Monaco or a Monaco 500. You could see buckets and a center console, but this would have had a bench up front. The torque flight automatic shifted on the console, and safety features inside this one. We see the padded lower dash right here, kind of cool. Upper dash also padded, but this is a soft-ish foam-backed vinyl. And interesting to see that Johan made a great model kit of the Chrysler 300, which basically is very similar. But keep in mind, the Chrysler full-size cars had the same fastback styling. We can see it right there. You know, beautiful car, but again, these rode on a longer 124-inch wheelbase, whereas the Dodge and Plymouth rode on a 122-inch wheelbase. Otherwise, very much similar. This, of course, the dual exhaust we see right there. And Johan did a really nice job of rendering these models, just really crisp and beautiful. But again, the fastback body on this one, same basic greenhouse right here as seen on the Chrysler 300 and the Plymouth Sport Fury. This beautiful design here, but again, this is on a 2-inch shorter wheelbase than on the Chrysler's 124. Now the trunk on this is large, lots of room here. Let's open it up, see what we find. Okay, Mother Nature has taken over. That is dirt down there, and those are vines. That's not metal. Somehow, some way, the original steel trunk on this thing has returned to Mother Nature, but something kind of cool. This is Car Life magazine, November 1968, right here. And inside this one, basically a story on the police cars, and we have a look inside in this, and we can see right here, supercars in pursuit clothing. And right there, that's a Dodge Polara 4-door sedan. Look at the tire going up in smoke. That's the 440 Magnum as tested by the California Highway Patrol. Look at that acceleration, boiling that tire. The text reads, anybody interested in automobiles has to be interested in what state police are buying. You can learn a lot about automotive performance and safety by reading what different state police departments specify when they start buying pursuit cars. right here. Minneapolis Highway Department gets specific. Performance of car in speed and acceleration is to be equal or excel conditions listed below, and at the end of 5,000 miles shall also be capable of meeting the below listed speed requirements. Quarter mile from a standing start, 82 miles per hour. Quarter mile per hour from 50, 87 miles per hour. 1 mile from standing start, 115. 2 miles from standing start, 125. Again, those are minimums. On the right-hand side, we see speedometers, and they had to be accuracy within 2 or 3%, and that's basically a certified speedometer. You look inside a cop car, you will see a little word that says certified, which means that the officer pacing you in your GTO in court can say, hey, look, my speedometer is certified. I saw you going 92 miles an hour. Here's your ticket, it sticks. Anyway, tires also, Goodyear Police Special, Firestone Super 500, BF Goodrich High Speed Certified. They actually had special police spec tires. And going a little further, I love this story. They have more pictures of that nasty CHP Polara flying around. That's probably the LA Fairgrounds road test circuit right there. But look at that thing, minimal body lean. And it says here the Chevrolet police vehicles, the top engine, a 385 horse 427. You could get a 4-speed, that right there, a 3-speed manual or a 4-speed. In Fordland down, look at that, we have the base car, the 6-cylinder Deputy, the 2-barrel Sentinel, the Guardian, the Cruiser, and then the Interceptor on the right with a possible 428, 360 horse. And always an automatic. Look at that, the 428, no stick shifts apparently. And it says here, some states such as California mount special equipment, 60-pound pusher bumper, fire extinguisher, shotgun mount, and maybe a wire barrier between the front and rear seats. These are all put on after the cars. So it's true, there are outfits that make these cars into cop cars. But most importantly, look at this right here. They're interviewing a police officer. I used to live in El Monte, California for many years, and it says here, El Monte, California Police Chief Orville Davis has some other ideas about police cars and riots. He's of the opinion that the police should have special riot cars available to them. The cars would be covered with ceramic armor backed by a glass reinforced plastic. And you gotta remember, the LA riots were fresh in the memory at this point in time. And so riot cars, yeah, we have them now. I think we have those Humvees, those armored Humvees for when things get a little bit urban. But with that said, this 1969 Polara Fastback is a very unusual body style, but it does show that the Fastback body styling was not unique to Barracuda Fastback or the Charger. You could also get it on a full-size car right like this with up to 440 cubic inches, but the best ones were the cop cars. With that said, for the most part, cops used 4 doors. So that's the story of full-sized Fastback Dodge style. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to the Steve Baggs YouTube channel and share this video with your friends. Be sure to give it a like, thumbs up, and hit the bell so you're aware when the next video comes out, which is tomorrow morning.